This is going to be a much shorter video than usual. So I've already done quite a few videos on all my characters individually, how I build them, their presets. Normally I get asked what my builds are, my QQ and everything. You know, all things like that on my characters whenever I do a solo video or I'm doing Parallel Quest 122. I often get asked, what's a good build for this? What's a good build for that? How do you have them build, etc. So I'm just going to really quickly blaze through all my characters. And you're going to notice that with a couple of exceptions, everyone has basically the exact same moveset, except for the my Namekian and my female Majin, because for whatever reason, they're not allowed to have access to Shining Slash. So instead, for a couple of those presets, they instead have Critical Upper, which is really just used as a tool to break the enemy stamina. Like, you can use Critical Upper on someone, wait for like a split second, and then do like an instant break. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. And I also want you all to keep in mind that this is strictly player versus, you know, AI. I do not care for the player versus player in this game, and if that's what you're here for, then this is not for you. So, really quick, I'm just going to go over how I built my characters as far as, like, their heights, their girth, their, movesets. You can just look at my presets here. So, this is obviously female Saiyan, made her height 2, and slim. If you want to hit harder with blasts, you need to make your character slim. And height will affect your HP and speed bonuses that you get on your character. The taller you are, the more health you'll have, but the slower you'll be. And vice versa if you're shorter. If you're shorter, you'll have more speed, but less health bonus. For my female Majin here, I have her at the 3rd height, and she is buff because she's a striker. Being buff makes you hit harder with not only strikes, but also basics. So that's important if you're making either someone who's melee based or a striker. And which kind of shoots the, some people like to build their characters with like max investment in basic and blast. That kind of gets shot in the foot unless you're making them a balanced, you know, Garth, but other than that, it's not a bad idea. And then for my Frieza race, I have him at the shortest height. Just quickly go over his presets. Anything you see with Drain Field is for raids, because that completely absorbs Marbling Drop, and it also completely absorbs Healer Storm. So that is a must-have in my opinion. Anything you see on my blasters with Photon Swipe, believe it or not, and yes, you do need the DLC for it, but whenever you see a gigantic Ki Blast getting shot at you, it is a guaranteed knockback on it. And if I don't have a slot for Photon Swipe, that's what the Soul Punisher is for as far as my blasters go. Now, as far as my Striker raid sets, you're going to be up close most of the time anyway, and you're not going to have a really easy way to get the enemy off of you, unless you decide to put on Elegant Blaster anyway, which will drop aggro. But if you want to just consistently do strike damage, Speared Sword and Gigantic Meteor, or Death Meteor, that's all you need. Anywhere you see Soaring Fist, that, in my opinion, is the definitive ranged strike super in the game now. It used to be Gigantic Omega for me, but now Soaring Fist heavily outclasses that now, and thankfully that is part of a free update, so you don't need to worry about that. Anywhere you're seeing Gigantic Roar, if you don't have the DLC for that, you can use another couple of supplements, like you can use Super Vanishing Ball, and you can use, let's see what else. You can also use Supernova, Cooler, and a minor difference I found out online is that regular Supernova can, I think it goes through some ultimates, while the Cooler Supernova variant, it charges up a lot quicker, but it can't do that. So my female Earthling here, I've got her at 3rd height and slim. Excuse me, obviously she's a blaster, so I made her slim. Got my Namekian here. Did I go over her presets? I'll go through them really quick just in case. But anyways, I'll get into my Namekian here in a second. I've got him at max height, and same for my male Majin. They're like the 2 most tank races in the game, so that's why I did that. And I also like to min-max, so that's why I've got my male Earthling and my Frieza race at the shortest height also, because they get the most speed out that way. And the Frieza race, just in general, they hit a lot harder with blasts. You could make them a striker if you want to and put on Cocoons to Super Soul and get absurd amounts of speed. So that's also an option. Oh, and if anyone's wondering why I have Potential Unleashed on the Res instead of Turn Golden, it's because there are 3 major drawbacks to Turn Golden that not everyone might be aware of. The biggest one for me is that you cannot block spam in Turn Golden. With Potential Unleashed, you can. And it's just much better in that regard to me. Also, in Turn Golden, you are locked into that dinky one-shot of Death Ray Ki Blast, which does really, really good damage depending on what Super Soul you have, but eh. I just prefer Potential Unleashed, and also in Turn Golden, you take 10% more damage. And then, okay, not 3 big drawbacks. The 4th one being that you rack up less ki as you're doing basics on the enemy in Turn Golden, so it is just not a very good skill to use in my opinion. I think you actually take 15% more damage, if I recall correctly. I think it was like that for, no, you actually take, I think it was initially at 5% more, and then they upped it to be on levels of base Super Saiyan Blue. But anyway, they both suck. At least that's what I think. But anyway, getting back into my Namekian here. And I also often get asked what my stat spreads are for each of my characters. So any of my strikers, they are built the same. You're going to see that just by looking at their pie charts. They're very similar. So, all my blasters, 125 in HP, 125 in ki, and 125 in blasts. And they're all slim. For all my melee-based characters, 125 in HP, 125 in basics, 125 in strike supers. Here's my male Saiyan. I also made him the 2nd height. And this is just me personally for my Saiyans. I like to have a slight HP buff because they don't benefit a whole lot from that anyway. Considering by default, they don't get a whole lot of HP to begin with, but at the same time, that's why I like to go with the 2nd height, because it helps with that a bit, and they also get, let's see, 2nd height, you get 10% more speed, which can be really crucial on a Saiyan, so that's why I went with heights like that on them. Also, I'm like very OCD about that kind of thing. I have 2 of each height across all 8 of my characters. Let's see, what else can I go over? So, after you're done, like, sapping enemy stamina, and I'm talking about mainly my strikers when I say this, after you're pretty much done to, like, sapping their stamina away after you made them vanish a bunch, from there you can do a knockback, or you can, if you're using critical upper, use that, and then wait a split second, and then do an instant light or heavy break, and capitalize from there. Anywhere you don't see me having critical upper on my do or die sets for both my Namekian and my female Majin, at that point, I don't really need to worry too much about breaking enemy stamina. I'm just trying to rack up damage, which is why I don't even have critical upper on those sets. I just stick with Deadly Dance. Deadly Dance I put on my strikers because it's really good for deflecting ki blasts, which can be annoying. It lasts just about as long as the shield from Darkness Twin Star does, Only difference being with Darkness Twin Star, you can still move around and charge up in it and stuff. But as the strike art calls anyway, you're going to be hitting the enemy and preventing them from shooting ki blasts and whatnot at you anyway. You're going to be doing a lot more basics as a striker anyway. And this is my personal playstyle. I like to use a lot of supers, so with my strikers, I will, invest completely into basic to get the most out of it, and build a ki that way also. I can still knock them away, I can still do a Just Guard and break them, and then just knock them away and charge it from there. Darkness Twin Star, I can do the same thing, or I can put up Darkness Twin Star and just sit there while they're shooting a little ki blast at me. The Darkness Twin Star will just completely nullify it. So I can just sit there and pretty much power up for free. Or I can just, do a break on them after I do a Just Guard. Knock them away, power up. Same thing pretty much applies there too. I usually power up a lot more often on my blasters than I do my melee characters. But it is still nice to have that ultimate charge there. And unfortunately with ultimate charge, you do need DLC. So if you don't have the DLC for that, just use max charge. Let's see, other DLC moves I got on my presets. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see, Photon Swipe. I want to say Dual Masenko was part of a free update. So if you don't have access to Photon Swipe, you can use that. Or if you don't care, then you don't have to use either. Or just, use a slot for Soul Punisher. And really quick, so my male Majin, he's also max height, and then obviously I already mentioned earlier, my male Earthling is shortest height. So, going forward from here, and I'm not saying this to sound bitter or anything, but if I get asked like what my builds are and any of my characters or anything going forward, I'm just going to link them this. And I'm not saying that as if to sound annoyed, but it's something I often, get asked. Hopefully this vid answers your question. And yeah, thank you for watching. Next vid will definitely be going back to Hero Coliseum. It has been a while. So look forward to that, and I will see you guys then. Peace.